Welcome friends to our YouTube channel, that is Engineering Mechanics for All. So we are going to discuss the topic projectile motion. So what is basically projectile motion? Projectile motion is nothing but a sub part of your curvilinear motion. Curvilinear motion is when the particle follows the curve path, it becomes your curvilinear motion. Projectile is nothing but your one kind of curvilinear motion. So what is projectile motion? When it happens? See, if any particle is projected free in air, it becomes a projectile motion. For example, this is pen. So if I throw this particular pen, it follows a curvilinear path, and this particular path, or we can say the motion, is your projectile motion. So how we can draw this particular projectile motion for the two dimension? So in our syllabus, we are only discussing it about the two dimensions. So for example, I throw this particular particle or pen in this direction. This is your angle alpha, which is called as the angle of projection. This is velocity with u. I am projecting this particular particle. Now there are few terms which we follow in projectile motion. This particular path is called as a trajectory. The angle with which we project the particle, which is called as, this is your angle of projection. And velocity with which we project the particle, that velocity is called as a velocity of projection. So these are the basic, or we can say the terms we follow in the projectile motion. As I told you, it follows a curvilinear path. This is the tangent, so velocity u. So always remember that projectile motion is a combination of your velocity of vertical component and horizontal component. So u has two components. As it is an incline, it gets divided into two components. So this is your, if this is your alpha, it becomes your u cos alpha, which is your horizontal component, and your vertical component is u sin alpha, where alpha is angle made by the tangent, or we can say velocity vector with respect to horizontal axis. That is your alpha. So your horizontal component will become u cos alpha, your vertical component will become u sin alpha. Always remember that whenever there is a problem of projectile motion, it can be on any level. Always remember that it should be solved with the two components, horizontal component and vertical component. Now there are few assumptions we do in the projectile motion. The first assumption is the projectile motion. In projectile motion, we neglect air resistance. This is very important. We neglect air resistance. The second thing is, in case of the projectile motion, see, whenever the projectile motion is happening, as I told you, there are two components. One is vertical component, the other one is a downward component. So the horizontal component of the velocity is u cos alpha, and the vertical component of the velocity is u sin alpha. So in case of the projectile motion, the particle is under the action of gravity, or we can say the gravity force is acting in the vertical downward direction, as we know that. So in case of the vertical component, it is not constant. So u sin alpha is variable. It's a variable, or we can say it is not constant. But u cos alpha is constant. So whatever acceleration happens, it is acceleration due to gravity in vertical direction. So u cos alpha, that is a horizontal component of the velocity, remains constant throughout the motion of the particle, or throughout the path of the particle. This is very important thing. So this is what I need to tell you at the beginning. the horizontal component of the velocity always remains constant. The vertical component of the velocity is variable. It varies as it changes its own position. So these are very important thing we need to discuss. So what are the unknowns in case of the projectile motion? So we'll see what are the unknowns we need to identify, or we need to calculate. The first unknown is, we can say, time of flight. The second unknown is range, or we can say horizontal range. Third unknown is maximum height reached by the particle. Reached. The fourth unknown is velocity at any time t. These are the four unknowns we generally find out using the projectile motion. Now we will find out these unknowns. Before that, I need to tell you some we can say some cases of the projectile motion. So there are few cases of the projectile motion. The first case is, if I project the particle from same level and it will strike on the same level. This is the first case. So point of projection, this is called as a point of projection. And this is your point of strike. Or we can say it's a target. So it is at the same level. The second is, we are projecting the particle at some height h, and it is going to be striking on the ground level, or it can be say at the other level. This is the second case. The third case, the projection or projectile motion is happening on the inclined path. So it can be a upward incline or it can be a downward incline. There is no a big thing, or we can say there is not a separate case. The point of projection and point of strike are both on, we can say, on the inclined path. So these are the three basics cases of your projectile motion. So now we will see, we are going to consider the first case, that is point of projection and point of strike are at the same level. So let us consider the particle follows this particular curvilinear path. This is the velocity vector which makes an angle alpha with respect to horizontal axis x. This is your y, u. For example, this is your position P, who is having a coordinates as x and y. Now we will calculate various terms, as I told you, that is your time of flight, then range of the particle, then maximum height. Okay, now what is range? Range is very simple. See, the horizontal distance covered by the particle when it is projected in free air, that is called as a range. So this is your horizontal distance covered by the particle, which is called as a range. Or we can say in simple word, it is a horizontal distance covered by the particle. Okay, so we will find out these terms, but before that we will see equation of trajectory. As I told you in the beginning, whenever we solve the problem of your projectile motion, always remember that solve it by two components, taking the two components, that is a horizontal motion and vertical motion, because your projectile motion is the combination of your horizontal motion as well as vertical motion. Now equation of the trajectory. Okay, so as I told you, always consider two parts in case of projectile motion, that is a horizontal component and a vertical component. So we will see the first horizontal component of the velocity. Consider horizontal component of the velocity. As I told you, we are considering the position of the particle P, whose coordinates are x and y. So at this particular position we are considering the horizontal component or horizontal motion. So we are having the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. So first thing is why I have considered this particular formula. It is very simple. See, this particular in the projectile motion, only acceleration due to gravity is acting on the particle. As I told you, there is we neglect a air resistance. So only acceleration due to gravity is acting on the particle, and which is having the constant value, that is 9.81. So we can take the equation for this, solving this particular equation of the trajectory. S is equal to ut plus half at square. What is S? S is nothing but x, because we are taking the horizontal component. So horizontal position of the particle is x. So I will write S is equal to x. U is, as I told you, for the horizontal component is u cos alpha into t as it is, plus half at square. Now in the beginning I told you the horizontal component of the velocity remains constant throughout the motion or throughout the path of the projectile. So your u cos alpha, as your u cos alpha is constant, your acceleration becomes 0, hence your whole this particular term will become 0. So your equation will become x plus x is equal to u cos alpha into t. Give it in the equation number 1. Consider vertical component. Consider vertical component. Again, I will write that equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, S is nothing but the position, and that position, the vertical position of the particle is y. So I will write y. U is u sin alpha t, because vertical component of the velocity is u sin alpha into t as it is. Now half at plus half at square. In the previous lectures, as I told you, whenever particle is moving in the upward direction, the acceleration due to gravity has to be taken as a negative. So we are considering the motion from the, for example, at the origin. So in this case, the particle is moving in the upward direction. So acceleration due to gravity will be in the having the negative sign. So it will be half of gt square. Give me the equation number 2. Now you just look at the equation number 1 and equation number 2. So your t, I can write from the equation number 1. I will just rub this one. I can write from equation number 1, t is equal to x divided by u cos alpha. Is it? So I will put this value in the equation number 2. So put this value in equation number 2. We will put the value in equation number 2. Y is equal to u sin alpha into t is x divided by u cos alpha, okay, minus half of g as it is into t square, it is x u cos alpha square. U cos alpha square. So if I simplify this term, it will become u will get cancelled. Sin alpha divided by cos alpha is tan alpha. So I can write x into tan alpha. Right? If I simplify this, half of g, I will write as it is, half into g as it is. X square, it will be your x square, it will be u square cos square alpha. So this complete equation is called as your equation of trajectory. Now why I have taken this particular, we can say, derivation? Because you should know how this equation of trajectory comes. There is very less chance, or no one will ask you how the equation of trajectory has to be derived. So don't worry about the derivation. Just for your understanding how it comes, I have taken all this particular in simplified manner. So your equation of the trajectory, but you should always remember this particular equation. Though you are not able to remember all the process, but the final equation of the trajectory has to be, we can say, by hearted, और ये आपको पता ही होना चाहिए. अगर मैंने पूछा आपको व्हाट इज इक्वेशन ऑफ द ट्रैजेक्टरी, आपको ये चीज पता ही होना चाहिए कि इक्वेशन ऑफ द ट्रैजेक्टरी क्या होता है. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस पर्टिकुलर इक्वेशन, y is equal to x tan alpha minus half of g x square u square cos square alpha. अभी यहाँ पे एक बात मैं बताता हूँ आपको कि x square divided by u square cos square alpha, 1 divided by cos square alpha का इनवर्स होता है sec square alpha. सो ये इसको मैं ऊपर लिख सकता हूँ half of g x square u square sec square alpha, और sec square alpha is nothing but your 1 plus tan square alpha. सो यहाँ पे मैं इसको फिर और एक बार सिंप्लीफाई कर सकता हूँ.
In next video, we will see quantities like time of flight, range, maximum height reached by the projectile, and 4 problems based on projectile motion. If you like our video, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.